live, doing this whole Memoirs of an Uber driver in Vegas, right? And what I've noticed lately over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting some subscribers. I really appreciate that. I did stop for a minute just because things weren't, nothing of interest was really going on. But then if you haven't done it in a minute, then you forget about it and whatnot. And so I have a story. Since, people are subscribing, so I have a story for you. So in all the other videos, I was driving the 2006 Charger RT because at the time, that's all I had. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I run a computer business, and during the pandemic, things got super slow, so I had to start doing Uber again. After a little bit of doing it with the Charger and the mileage I was getting like 14 miles per gallon. So that wasn't very profitable for me, given the miles I was doing every day. So I ended up, back in May, getting a
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Oh, that's my Wazi. I love that. I use it a lot because it's a big community. So if you use GPS like maps or anything like that to get around town or whatever, I suggest using Wazi or Waze, whatever they call it. It looks like Maze, but sounds like Waze. I don't know. Anyway, so I had bought this Toyota Corolla because it gets much better gas mileage as my daily, and parked my Charger in the garage, which is crazy. If anybody is into muscle cars like I am, I believe that you develop a bond with your car. I know it's weird, but case in point. So during this time that I am driving Uber, there were things going on my dashboard. It was flashing. And I believe that was signs of the main computer going out, but I wasn't sure. I took a video of it. I went to a couple of my buddy mechanics. Then I eventually got a mechanic who's really good. If you guys need a good mechanic, let me know. I got a number for you. He's really good. He's the only guy that I will let touch my Charger. And anyway, a week after I bought this Corolla, it finally died on me. It sits in the garage. But I'm able to get a hold of a computer now, so it's just getting the funds together, and I'll get her back on the road. But it's not really a priority. But I believe that she carried me through until I was able to get her replacement, if you will. And so now I'm going to make sure when I'm ready, I'm going to fix her up again, and get her running, and baby her, and treat her like the car that she is. So anyway, that wasn't the story, but that's just something that popped up. So anyway. About 3 weeks after I bought this car, I get this young gentleman as a passenger, probably, when I say young, early 20s maybe, and he's on the phone, on speakerphone. Now, first of all, I'm sure a lot of you Uber drivers can agree with me. People talking on speakerphone is like the rudest thing. I don't understand it. I understand that generations today did not grow up with an actual phone like we did. Like, I remember rotary phones. You guys remember rotary phones? I remember rotary phones, right? That's what we had before we had touch tones and all that stuff. Anyway, he's on speakerphone. Again, I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. It's rude. First, I don't want to hear your conversation, right? Why would you want me to hear your conversation? When I'm on the phone with somebody, because I've got the hands free, I'm not rude. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm working, because if it's important, they'll leave me a message or they could text me, and anybody who's close enough to me knows I work like this, and they can message me. They don't have to call me. I don't want to be on the phone when I have a customer, because regardless if it's a prescription or a computer job or even something maybe intimate with talking about some plans with my fiance, I don't want other people to hear that conversation. It's rude, okay? So whoever's watching this, if you're one of those kind of people that like to talk on the phone on speakerphone, please stop doing it. It's rude. Nobody wants to hear your conversation at all. And I don't understand why you would want someone to hear your conversation. People do it all the time. in grocery stores, Walmart. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Anyway, that's my rant off. So, guy gets into my car. He's on speakerphone. Normally, I don't say anything because I even though I'm saying it to you guys, it's petty. I don't really say anything. It's a 5 to 10 minute ride most of the time. I think I can handle them being on the speakerphone, just do whatever, right? But this time, this guy and his girl were talking about some sexual shit that I didn't want to hear. I mean, I think that's rude. Why would you want me to hear that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a turn on for them. I wasn't in the mood. So I said very politely, and I said to the point, I said, hey man, can you take the phone off speakerphone so I don't have to hear your conversation, right? And pretty much in that tone, but maybe I had an attitude, but I thought I was straightforward and polite, right? Well, this guy apparently didn't hear what I said. And instead of being like, oh, my bad, and taking it off speakerphone and continuing on with conversation, he thought I said, get off the phone. This dude said, first of all, I'm allowed to be on the phone. And second of all, you're just an Uber driver. I promise you that by the time he said that and finished it, I was already stopped and I told him to get the fuck out of my car. This guy was like, oh, what you gonna do? Blah, 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 right? Now he's like trying to be intimidating and all this other stuff. And I'm cool, I'm calm. And I said, get the fuck out of my car. The second time. At this point, this guy, he's over here talking about how he's gonna kick my ass, get out of the car, let's fight, blah, 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 all this other, just running his mouth, blah, 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 right? So I said very calmly, and maybe he understood the intensity in my voice, but I said to him very calmly, if you don't get the fuck out of my car, you're gonna have a very bad day. And he didn't know, and I'm not saying I would do anything, but I was carrying. It would have been a bad day for him, because yes, I would have pulled it on him to get him out of my car if I had to. Luckily, it didn't come to that. I don't know if that's right or wrong, if the police would have done anything if I would have called the cops, but I have a dash cam. It definitely would have showed it was self-defense because the guy would not get out of my car, right? But it didn't come to that. He must have understood the tone of my voice because I was very calm. Maybe that's a crazy thing. I don't know, whatever. But he got out of the car and he slammed our door, to be expected. And as I'm driving off, this fool takes his phone and he throws it at my car. And he broke it. I just saw it like hit my car and hit the street. And I'm just like, are you serious? So not only did he like fuck up, get kicked out of my car, he also broke his phone and probably messed up any kind of chance of getting another Uber ride. And it looked like to me he was heading to work. So he ended up having a very bad day anyway. That was the first time, and at the time, that was in June, and it's like November now. I think I was around 6,000 total rides between Uber and Lyft, and that was the first time I ever had to kick anybody out of my car. Now, I'm not an asshole. Maybe it sounded like because of the situation, but I thought about it later because it bothered me. I don't like confrontation. I don't take no shit, because in Vegas, if those of you who know about Vegas, it's like the Wild Wild West out here. I can't be intimidated by anybody. I mean, I'm not a badass by no means. I am not a badass, but you're not going to scare me. You know what I mean? It's my car. I'm the pilot. I'm the captain. You know what I mean? And so if you're going to try to threaten me, you're going to have a bad day. That's just how it's going to happen. And, well, anyway, yep, that was like the first time. I did have another situation after that. I think it was more of a language barrier. Because she started yelling at me because I wasn't going the way that she... So yeah, okay, so I picked up this lady. She didn't speak very good English, which won't get there. Anyway, I go to pick her up, and I verify the address like I always do. Now, where I was picking her up, very close to the freeway if I went right, coming out of her community. But she said she's used to going left. And at that time, because there was a school bus there and there was a lot going on, I was supposed to stop and she was yelling at me. I ended up going around the school bus, and the school bus honked at me, and luckily nothing happened. And I ended up pulling over and I told her to get out of my car because of what happened, because she's yelling at me. You don't yell at me. That's very disrespectful. Now, to be fair, I normally listen to the passengers if they know where they're going, because they know where they're going. I mean, yes, I grew up in this town. I know this town like I know the back of my hand. However, there are people that know shortcuts and they know how to get to places faster than I do. So I'm not one of those guys. I'll listen. But this particular one, I knew that it was faster because the freeway was just right there. And if we went down to the next exit, it would have been probably about another mile before I would have hit the freeway with, I think there's like 2 lights. So I knew where I was going. My job is to get that passenger to her destination as quickly and safely as possible. So that's what I was trying to do. Well, anyway, I pulled over and I said, get out of my car. She didn't want to get out of my car. She told me she was going to call the police. I said, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to call the police for you because you won't get out of my car. She got out of my car. I felt like a dick after that. I didn't mean to be like that, but because the way she was yelling at me, I don't know who you think you are. You don't yell at me. You don't know me well enough to yell at me. I don't yell at anybody. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of shit is that? I don't even understand what even prompts another human being to be like that towards one, especially when you don't know who that person is. You know what I mean? Anyway, those were the stories that kind of happened. I figured I'd tell you both because those are the only 2 times. And now I believe I have 8,000 rides between Lyft and Uber. And I haven't had to kick anybody else out. Everybody's been cool. I did have one situation with Lyft where some young lady decided to, I don't know, maybe I smelled bad. I don't know, maybe I was listening to the wrong music or something. Who knows? But she reported that I said some sexually explicit things to her, which by no means do I do that. I'm not that kind of guy. I have daughters. I have a fiance. I'm a little bit more classy than that, but whatever. Lyft looked at my account. They had deactivated it, called me up, said, okay, well, you never had anybody in your 5,000 rides come at you like this, so, you're good. I'm like, all right, because this is a business to me. I run a computer business, and I run this the same way. My car is clean. It smells good. I don't talk about things I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. Nothing like that. I mean, if we want to talk sports, we'll talk sports. We want to talk about Vegas, we'll talk about Vegas. But I keep it strictly professional. So then I had that. So there's a couple of stories there. Can't really think of anything else at the moment. So until the next time, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Please comment if you like my videos. I've seen that some of my other videos have been looked at. So yes, please like and comment them. Give me some positive feedback. I'll take even negative feedback. Any feedback is good feedback, I suppose. So yeah, send me some feedback. Let me know what you think I can do to improve. Anybody who's watching this, if you know a freelance author that wants to make some money, like I said in one of my I believe it's the first video, I'm putting all these videos together over time, so I'm hoping somebody will write a book because people that I talk to, they say, hell yeah, they will buy a book like this. And I know there's already books out there. I think there's a couple of books out there where someone else did this. So if you know any freelance authors that want to make some money, please have them reach out to me. Okay, well, you guys have a fabulous day, and talk to you later.